Center, where you gave a rather impassioned speech implying that people are calling you incompetent and that you're not being respected. What's behind that? Why do you think that people think you're incompetent, and why do you think you're being disrespected?
No, people don't think I'm incompetent. I think that just the opposite. When you look at this city, you look at the fact that we navigated out of COVID. We look at the fact that we were able to get earned income tax credits for families, lower the cost of child care, settle 75% of our union contracts, 97% ratification, decrease in crime, subway ridership is up. We were tapping out at 4 million. The bond raters who look at the city and determine if the city is worth investing in money gave us a AA rating in our bonds. When you look at tourism, 56 million, we're predicted to have 65 million. Times Square is booming. People are back up and operating. And it's interesting that I remember last year during the subway safety plan when I told about the perception of public safety and the actual public safety, many of y'all beat me up. Y'all talked about what is this perception stuff. Now I'm watching the front pages of your paper talk about perception. What I find is, when does the goalpost stop moving? You know, do we ever reach a point when the goalpost is there and it stops moving? I ran on bringing down crime. I'm doing that. I ran on putting money back in the pockets of middle-class New Yorkers. I'm doing that. My union contracts, what we did with NYCHA Land Trust, how we're placing people in housing. So it comes a time you have to ask yourself, are we looking at the same goalposts? Because if you judge me based on where the goalpost is located, I'll keep winning. No, I don't think it's the point of disrespected. I think it's the point of the unwillingness of reporting the accuracy of what this administration has done. We've done things that's substantive and symbolic. Someone stopped me the other day and stated that, you know, look what you have done for Indian Americans by having the first Indian American to be a deputy mayor, Filipino Americans. You know, we've never had a Dominican as the deputy mayor in the history of this city. From Keyshawn Sewell to Louis Molina, you know, we're breaking down barriers. And I think that when we look back on this administration, we're just going to see some amazing things that we're doing. Something happened the other day that many people didn't realize. During the 4th of July celebration, many of you slept well. You know why? Because in 20 and 21, you couldn't sleep. The city felt like Iraq. We didn't have that anymore this year. You know, remember those 3 wielders that disrupted the city? You didn't have that anymore this year. You're seeing a city that's functioning. So there's a time before you go from what you felt to what you are feeling. And slowly people are going to all of a sudden say, wait a minute, we're not harassed anymore. And you know what's interesting? A lot of people don't realize? Go look at those other cities. No one is sleeping under our bridges. You don't see encampments anymore. Remember when I said back at the beginning of our administration that I was going to clean up the encampments? I said, we're not going to have encampments on our subways. We're going to clean them off our streets. People said it wasn't possible. It couldn't be done. And it's interesting that people judge my homeless plan based on how many people are in shelter, not based on how many people are not living in the streets or in encampments. How about using that as an indicator? Maybe some people went home. There was one person who was homeless living on the highway, Marsha, and he had a stack of pension checks, and he was living on the side of the highway. And when I saw it while I was riding around, I said, go find out why that person is living on the highway. So what I said to CCC is what I've been saying across the city. The city is back. People didn't think that I was going to be able to manage this city through tough times. And we are. And we are. And we need to start talking about the substantive and symbolic things we need, because cities need a substantive leader and they need a symbolic leader. 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm up, drinking my smoothie, meditating, exercising, and going out and running this city. And I enjoy every moment of it. This job is not hard because I love the city that I protected.